again, Director of the Indonesian Ministry of Justice and Human Rights.
Thank you so much, Paul, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning. It is indeed a very special honor and privilege to be with you all at this important dialogue. Well, to be provocateur is not easy. It's normally provoke is very popular in the arena of political game and political power. So anyhow, well, let me share to you about a new Indonesia, because Indonesia at the moment is quite different as compare Indonesia in the last over 12 years or last 1 decade. A new Indonesia with a new approach to democracy. We are introducing a human rights impact assessment approach. So I have three points that I would like to share with you about this matter. First, the new realities of Indonesia, the new social realities in Indonesia. And secondly, a new vision of Indonesia to address social and climate change across the country. And third, what is a human right impact assessment approach? And maybe this could be a new paradigm shift for Indonesia to engage and to cooperate with any other countries across the world. Let me start with the first. Indonesia indeed is quite a big country as well. Many incumbent China and India, Indonesia, we are, quite a large country. Indonesia is the largest archipelagic country in the world. We have over, it's about 18,000 islands. We have 6,000 islands are not yet occupied. And 2,000 of them, the size is similar to Singapore. So, if you would like to move to Indonesia, mostly welcome, because we have quite many islands. In terms of population, we are the fourth largest population in the world after China, India, United States, and Indonesia is approaching 243 million at the moment. So India is over 1 billion and China is also over 1 billion. So Indonesia is 243 million. But in terms of social and cultural phenomena, I think Indonesia is the most diversified country in the world. We have one island, Papua. We have more than 300 local languages with different alphabet, with different dialect and so on. So a huge country in the equator. But the way to approach this situation, these realities in the past, during Suharto time, we have a new era of development under military system. We manage this country through centralistic regime system, through authoritarian system, through militaristic system. What's the implication so far? So the policy created a huge social gap. And if you read a very popular book written by John Naisbitt, Megatrend Asia, that only 3% of our total population, this 243 million, 3% of them dominated 70% of economic power. And then that's the reason why Indonesia was almost collapsed in 1998. So our economic growth at that time, minus 18.46%, hyperinflation and depression. We almost collapsed because of financial crisis started in Thailand in 1997, and this, like a virus across Asia, across the region, in Indonesia was greatly affected with this crisis. And so that's why we stopped and we change our approach to development. We forget with centralistic, we forget with authoritarian approach, and that's the new page of Indonesia, a new vision to be made. Now, I start with the second. What is a new Indonesia? Since 1998, we have 4 pillars of new Indonesia. One is we democratize our system. So former President Jimmy Carter visited Indonesia was saying that Indonesia is the 3rd largest democracy because many, political scientists or political leaders were worrying so much that Indonesia cannot pronounce democracy because of over 90% of their population are Muslim. But again, we could prove that with this value, Indonesia could, well, start a democracy. We decentralize our system. Yeah. We do not have any centralistic approach at the moment. So, except 5 areas: law, justice, foreign affairs, defense and security, finance and religious affairs. But the remaining aspect of development has been decentralized under the authority of local municipality, local district, and local village. Well, the next is we promote human rights. So during Suharto era, we cannot pronounce human rights because that's contradict with the authoritarian system. We have a special ministry of human rights, and we promoted supremacy of law. So luckily at the moment, after introducing democracy from minus 18% of our economic growth, and luckily at the moment we're approaching to 6%. So this is a shining example to the world that democracy is not the enemy to development. And what we are doing over here, that we introduce human rights as the inherent part of all our national development. So it's a good example. So look, Aceh tragedy after tsunami, we lost over 200,000 of lives. We lost $1 billion because of tsunami earthquake. Yeah, we have, before tsunami, we have 30 years of bloody tension in Aceh. But because of democracy, well, we recover. We develop a peace accord with local independent movement in Aceh when we stop bloody tension over there. So I think this example is a good testimony to the world that democracy could support the development. So the inherent part of this process, because I am the Deputy Minister for Human Rights since 1999, and then I was appointed by the President to be Director General for Human Rights Protection within this ministry, Ministry of Justice and Human Rights. So I introduced, it's a new platform for Human Rights National Action Plan in which that we introduce a national approach for human rights impact assessment. Yes, basically to address the issue of vulnerability. Yes, we have identified 21 vulnerable target groups like IDPs because of, for instance, tsunami. We have IDPs of 500,000 people. We have street children. We have the poorest of the poor. We have disabled, elderly, and so on. And what is our core approach to this? We develop database, comprehensive database system based at the grassroots level. And secondly, developing appropriate good governance policy. And thirdly, institutionalization to empower the grassroots level to be aware of social and environmental change of Indonesia. And through this, well, we could develop what we call, there is no more exclusion, no more, authoritarian system, it's a no more closed system. We develop accountability, and this, well, through this approach, that human rights impact assessment, we could strengthen social cohesion of a new Indonesia. And we hope that Indonesia could play much better role in the region, especially within ASEAN, for, sustaining democracy in the country. And I think I resume that for the 3 points, and I hope this will provoke to you all that to see the Indonesian as an example in how to manage this transition progressively and constructively. We have developed also what we call Bali Roadmap. We hosted in last 2008. We hope quite many agendas that could be, collaborate Indonesia and all other countries across the globe. I thank you, Professor Paul. Thank you.